Hey everyone, what's going on? So, there was a women's college basketball game on December 11th, 2021. I believe the game came on at 1 o'clock, and I did watch the game. It was UCLA versus UConn. And of course, I was cheering for UCLA because LA is my hometown. So, I was going for UCLA, of course. UConn, I wasn't sure if they were going to win that game. I was surprised they won because UCLA had them in the beginning. They were just whooping their behinds in the beginning. They were just putting rings around them. So the final score was 61-71. UCLA has 61, and UConn, of course, has 71. So I wrote down a few things that I noticed about the game, and there was a lot going on. So I know they have other games coming up. I'm going to see how well they're still going to play. Just because they won that game, that doesn't mean, they're still where they're supposed to be. But in a way, I'm glad they did win because it showed that they can win without Paige Beckers. They can win without Azzy Fudd and Nico Mull or whoever else is injured, or maybe it's just the three of them. I don't know. But I'm glad that they proved the point that they didn't need them there to win, that they still have to play hard. They still have to do what they have to do, whether Paige, Nika, or Azzy Fudd is in the game or not. So this is what I observed from the game. This is what I heard from the game. And I also wrote down a few notes that, from what I observed. So first, I want to talk about UConn. And, there were some things I heard from the commentators, and I agree with them because I felt the same way by watching the game. This is the beginning of the game. This is Williams, who I'm going to talk about. I would say like beginning of the game, like first, second quarter, towards like maybe the end of third quarter, fourth quarter, she stepped it up a lot. But like right in the beginning, she was slipping. It just seemed like her heart was in the game, as if she didn't want to play. So what I wrote down was that she didn't seem like her heart was in the game. Another commentators mentioned that Gino asked her, "Do you want to play today?" And Williams says yes. And Gino said, "How?" So I know when she was slipping for a bit, she was on the bench for a bit, sitting down, because she was really slipping. She missed 12 field goal attempts. And there was something else I wrote down about her. There were times where she was shooting the ball without thinking and she misses her shot. And I know towards the maybe in the third quarter, like fourth quarter, she started building self-confidence. Her confidence got up. So I'm glad she was back to herself scoring and making points. But in the beginning of the game, it just appeared that just seemed like she didn't want to play. Like she was caught like just losing the ball, causing her team turnovers. It was just so much going on with UConn in the beginning of the game. And who else I want to talk about? I want to talk about Westbrook on the team. Now, she played a good game that day. I give her that. She played better than her previous game. I know they played another team and they lost. It was Georgia Tech. Okay, I have to think about it because so many teams. Georgia Tech, I know I did a video on that. Georgia Tech. Westbrook didn't play her best game on Georgia Tech, but UCLA, she was trying to step it up. I give her props on that. She played better with the UCLA game. And it, looked like she was trying to be the leader for her team. So I did see that she was the only one, even in the beginning of the game, she was trying to get everyone in place on the team. So I did like that about her, how she was, at least trying to step it up, trying to play better than what she did when she was with Georgia Tech. And also, I know there's times when she takes it to the bucket when she feels like it. She scores some 3-point shots. I know she's a good shooter. And I know there were maybe times when no plays weren't set up. So I think she needs to focus on that, like just being a planner for her team, being that leader. Because I know she's, playing that point guard position. So she has to just focus on just planning plays, not just bringing the ball down and shooting. She has to adjust to just planning plays on down the court. Because I know Paige was doing it when she was in the game. Now Westbrook has to be that lady. She has to step it up, and they're depending on her as a point guard right now. You know, to go over and above right now. And who else? Nelson Adota shoots her jumpers as usual. I know she was being double teamed on in the paint by UCLA. They were trying to double team her. And I know she was struggling to get the ball in the bucket at times. And there is someone else. Now, the player I was impressed with, her first name is Dorka. I can't remember her last name, but I'll just say Dorka. All I have to say is she's a good shooter. And she needs to play more in the game. I believe she could take on Paige's spot a bit. I see the potential in Dorka. She played a good game. She's a great player. She makes her free throws, and she's a good 3-point shooter. So I think the coach needs to put Dorka in. Hopefully she started. I can't remember if she started in this game, but she came in playing, just ready to play. So that's a good, replacement for Paige a bit. That would help Paige out a bit. I wouldn't say help Paige out, but that would help the team a bit. And who else I would like to talk about? Okay, I want to also talk about Edwards. Edwards played a little better than how she was normally playing. I know she can't hit jump shots sometimes. She has trouble making easy shots, but she played a little better. I know she scored some points, I can't remember, but she played better. So she needs to work on hitting her jump shots. She needs to practice. She has a lot of practice to do. And I know she's tall. She has the height. She just needs more work, more practice. She needs a lot of people to work with her. Like, just use your height to the advantage. Like, do not be scared of these other players on the court. Now I want to talk about UCLA. UCLA, I was impressed with UCLA. They have some darn good players. We have Thomas. She's a big girl scoring in the paint. It looked like the UCLA girls, they were battling to win. Like, they were ready to do whatever it takes to win. Like, they were just on the battle. They also have good defense. They really turned up the defense a lot on the court. One of my favorite parts of the game with UCLA was with Jalen Penn, when she did a crossover, and then she goes in the paint, and the ball goes in the bucket. That was one of my favorites of the game. And there was another thing I noticed about them. They were trying to triple team on Navina Westbrook in the paint. Like, they were doing some double teaming. They were doing some triple teaming. They, like UCLA, they were going hard in the beginning, but during the third and fourth quarter, I don't know what happened. It's like they started slipping, but they had UConn in the beginning. They had them with the triple teaming, the double teaming, the defense. Then when it came down to the third and fourth quarter, it just seemed like they gave up. They should have just played the same way they did from like at least the first, second quarter. They had them a bit. Because I know the end of second quarter, UCLA had 30 and then UConn had 28. Now, during the halftime report, I can't remember the lady's names that talks about what happens during the first and second quarter, during the halftime report. I know they mentioned that they think UCLA going to be UConn. I felt that way too. And then all of a sudden, here come the third and fourth quarter, UConn up and beat them. So I was like shocked, because I thought UCLA was just going to take it. I was like, okay, this is UCLA's game today. And then UConn up and beat them. So, which is okay with me, because UConn probably needed to prove they can win without Paige Beckers and Azzy Fudd or whoever they have injured on their team, Nika Mole. Because some people already think, Paige needs to be there with them for them to win. So at least they show they don't need Paige in the game with them to win. They proved that. So the way they played, they need to play the same way with the other teams. The coach needs to put Dorka in the game, because she's good. She's just as good as Paige to me. And that is about it. I know there was another game with, who was it? I think it was South Carolina versus Maryland. Now, that was a good game. Like, I enjoyed that game yesterday. That game came on, I think, I don't know if it came on at 5, maybe 3 o'clock. Because I know Kentucky played Louisville. And then Louisville beat Kentucky. This is the women's games that came on yesterday. Louisville beat Kentucky. And that was kind of a close game. And then Louisville ended up, going all the way in points. But they were like neck and neck. And then with Maryland and South Carolina, I thought that South Carolina really had to play some basketball yesterday. Like, Maryland was socking it to them. They was giving South Carolina a run for their money. Like, Maryland came to play. And I was actually nervous for South Carolina, because it looked like Maryland was ready to beat them. I just couldn't believe what I was watching yesterday. And I did write down a few things with South Carolina. I know the final score ended up being 59-66. South Carolina has 66. Thank goodness, because I was rooting for South Carolina. I did not want South Carolina to lose, because Maryland was up on them. They were ready. South Carolina are now 9-0. Then you have Maryland. I'm sorry, South Carolina is 10-0. My fault. That's my mistake. Maryland is now 9-3. And again, I don't know if I said it, but again, the final score, 59-66. South Carolina has 66. Maryland has 59. So the player of the game for South Carolina, I would say, was Zia Cook. She steals the ball from the other team, then scores. Henderson. When I saw her sitting down on the bench, I was like, okay, now I see. Because in the beginning of the game, like, the game, they weren't losing bad, but they were like neck and neck with Maryland. Like, it was just being a tie. It was just a tie so many times. Like, it was just the same points. Like, they were going back and forth the same score. Like, Maryland may have 20. Then here comes South Carolina, 20. And then South Carolina may have 25. Here come Maryland coming to 24 points. So Maryland was up on them. Maryland was keeping up with them. They came to win. And Henderson, I saw Henderson send down on South Carolina. So I kind of find out that she was not playing because of a leg injury. And she's one of the top players on the team. So I was nervous, because I know I seen Henderson play. And she played ball. And I know when Henderson and Zia Cook in the game, it's done. Like, South Carolina just going to run all over the court with the other teams. So Henderson sitting down, Zaya Cook in the game. Zaya Cook took over that game. So I'm glad at least Zaya Cook was in the game. Because either one of the girls, well, either one of them in there. South Carolina, they gonna they gonna turn up. And then we have it's this freshman called Zanaya Rivers. She's the one to watch. She played a hell of a good game. I don't know, that's my first time watching her, but she came in ready to play. And that's what you have to do. You have to put your freshmen in. Let the freshmen play. But she came in playing good. Like, she even played like she was a freshman. I was like, who is she? Then they said freshman. I was like, oh, okay. But she played a good game yesterday. We have Amir Her on South Carolina. She does block shots. She's another good player on the team. And who else? I know that South Carolina, they're good at rebounding. Zaya Cook, she scores her 3-point shots. They said that South Carolina is one of the best defensive teams in the country. And star of the game, to me, is Zaya Cook, South Carolina. Then we have Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston plays good. I know she's going to go to the WNBA. I can see that happening. So it's not going to surprise me when she get drafted in another year or so or two. But that's the girl that's going to go to the WNBA for sure, Aaliyah Boston, because she's a good player. And I know in the beginning of the game, she scores the first basket in the first quarter. She scores her points in the paint as usual. And, she scores her jumpers. Now I want to talk about Maryland. Maryland has some good players that I got to write down. We have Angel Reese. She's one of the good players. She scores the first basket with a layup beginning the first quarter. There's another player called Ashley Awasu. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. She's a tough player, like a big girl, but she can run down the court. She's a tough player. And I know that she missed both of her free throws, which is not good. I know they were double teaming on South Carolina as they were bringing the ball down the court during the first quarter. And then there's another player, Collins. She makes like 2 3-point shots. A lot of them on Maryland are good 3-point shooters. And it looks like, I could be wrong, but it looks like Angel Reese was the only one on her team at least trying to score points. But Angel Owusu, she was good too. I give her that. She was trying. And that is all I have to say about Maryland and South Carolina. Because I was just so nervous. Maryland was just right up there with South Carolina. So South Carolina, they have not lost a game yet. I don't wish them bad. I don't wish that they lose a game. I want them to keep winning. Like, who wants to lose a game? You want to win every game. And I want them to win the championship, go to the Final Four. I'm rooting for South Carolina. And I don't know who else I'm rooting for. Maybe I'm rooting for Arizona. I'm rooting for UCLA. I'll root for them. UConn. I'll just pray for UConn. We don't know what's going to happen in the long run with them. Time will tell with UConn. And that's all I have to say. So keep watching basketball. I'm sure there will be some more women's college basketball games this week. I know this Saturday there is a game with Tennessee and Stanford. That's the women's college basketball game. I'm looking forward to that game. They play this Saturday. Again, University of Tennessee and Stanford play this Saturday. And there may be some more games throughout this week. This Saturday is, what is the Saturday? Because today is the 13th. Okay, the Saturday is December 18th. So they'll be playing Saturday. And then today is Monday. There may be some college games tomorrow. I know the NBA games come on every day. The men's college basketball games, they're consistently on. But the women's college basketball games, you just have to keep checking ESPN and other sports channels. There may be some games like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Just keep checking. They also have a schedule, but not all the games come on national television, because I know a lot of teams do play, and then a lot of the times they don't put them on national television. So what I do, I just check the TV every day and see what games come on at a certain time every day. Mostly some come on like in the evening, maybe 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So I just check. Then I also check the women's college basketball schedule as well. So just check your TV and see who's playing every day. That's all you have to do. You all have a good day and continue watching basketball. Bye-bye.